Alright, hello everyone. So, this time we'll get the Demise wrong endings. The first one we can get. Let's go ahead and get it. So here it is. Obviously, it's looking at Ryo. I was caught in his cold, dead hands. He had me by the wrist, and absolutely was not letting go.
生きてる人ってあったかいね。もっと触られて。
With one sudden and elegant movement, he grabbed my hair in his other hand and began violently pulling on it with all his might. In that instant, I found myself unable to breathe and unable to speak. The hand that was previously on my wrist was now strangling the life out of me, gripping my neck with an almost inhuman. For a brief moment, I could feel a cold sensation on my And then just like that, my entire torso was forced backwards into a decidedly unnatural bend. I heard a sound like the cracking of a huge lobster. Sudden jolts of intense pain shot through every last inch of my body, like electricity, and sweat began overflowing from every pore. My body, equally uncertain on how to react to levels of pain this severe, responded with intense nausea. Somebody, please. How many people were in the room with me? I was feeling the touch of countless hands, and some clearly did not belong to children. Who were these people, and how many of them were holding me down? Yet another hand grabbed my ankle. With an even greater force than before, my legs were pulled in opposite directions. Then, with a startling, loud crunch, they snapped right off my hips. My limbs were either gone now, or barely still attached. I was like a discarded wishbone, a toy they had no qualms about breaking. That's the first wrong end. And get the second one. I saved right before most of them, so that's good. So we can get to them real quick. Alright, in this one we also need to look at Ryo, but we're looking at it as Yoshiki. So it's different. His icy, child-sized hands caught hold of my wrists and wouldn't let go. Try as I might, I couldn't shake him. When I came to, I found myself restrained. I couldn't move a muscle. I was lying face up on some kind of table with both my arms and both my legs firmly bound by rope? I guess it was digging into my skin, whatever it was.
くそいつの間にか気絶でもしちまってたのか。あんだけ篠崎に釘刺されたのに。
My head was the only part of my body that didn't have its movements prohibitively restricted, so I was able to look around the room to some extent. The walls and ceiling seemed to be made of dirt or mud. I didn't get the impression that I was in the school anymore. It looked and felt kind of like I was in some basement room, or more specifically, a mine or a bomb shelter or something. Thick, gloppy blood stains saturated every corner of the room, and the stench in the air was enough to send a shiver down even the most hardened spine. It seemed fairly apparent what this room was used for. At least, it was as apparent as it needed to be. But the scariest part was, I remembered this place. Or I had a nagging sense that I'd been here before. Anyway, much like Shinozaki had said about that weird classroom just moments before,
わけわかんねえ。何がどうなってんだよ。とにかく早く逃げねえと。
逃げる？できないって分かってるくせに。
The voice belonged to a little girl who looked like she was right around 10 years old at most. She was wearing a red dress and staring at me through a mop of messy black hair with a smirk on her face and a condescending glint in her eyes.
幸子。幸子。
I muttered a name without thinking, surprising myself. How did I know who this was? Or more to the point, who was Sachiko?
覚えててくれたんだ。前は
She's so
殺して
happy.
あげられなかったけど、今度はしっかり最後まで面倒を見てあげる。こっち側の筋書きが固定されるように念入りにね。出しなよ、切れ端。
ざけんな！てめえみたいなガキに！
In the very next moment, everything around me seemed to go white. Or red.
ガキが何？
Sachiko was now staring at me with a cold, unmoved, and unwavering expression. I was in more pain than I'd ever felt in my entire life. I focused my gaze on the filthy giant at her side, who seemed to be doing her bidding. His enormous hammer was still resting on the mess that was previously my right ankle, up until about a few seconds ago. I was all too aware that the extreme impact had pierced my flesh, shattered my bones, and even sprayed the room with shards of marrow. This was beyond pain. Every last nerve ending in my body was on alert. I could feel the underside of my skin. I wanted to puke, but knew it would do no good.
足の先から順番にゆっくり潰していってあげる。ほら続けろ。
はい。
顔は最後ね。お兄ちゃんちょっとかっこいいから残念だけど、潰れて目玉が飛び出した面白い顔も見てみたい。
いや、この
反抗的な目ね。次はどこを潰してあげようかしら。
叫んだよ。てめえなんかにビビるかよ。
I tried my best to stay strong and not give her the satisfaction of seeing me in pain or afraid. But in truth, I was scared out of my mind. All I wanted to do was shrink back in fear and agony. It took every fiber of my being to resist.
あ、そう。じゃあ、これはどうかな？おいデクノボ、こいつにさっきのを見せてやりな。
はい。
The red-eyed giant laid down his hammer, but rather than feeling relief, I was instead even more worried by Sachiko's sadistically overjoyed expression.
これなんだ？
I was flabbergasted. I couldn't even speak. I doubt Yoshiki would ever say flabbergasted.
いいよお兄ちゃん。悔しいね。憎いね。幸子たちを殺したいでしょう。幸子は優しいからお兄ちゃんはまだ殺さないであげる。でももし殺してやるが殺してくれになったら、その時は優しく殺してあげる。
As she said this, she drew her face in close, and I could feel her tiny, cold lips sucking the tears from my cheeks.
その憎悪が死んでからも変わらなければ、お前も私になれるかもしれないね。
I didn't mention it before, but she is voiced by the woman who does Pikachu. Pikachu can be so cruel. Well, there's a lot of noise going on outside. Probably won't be able to hear it. There's just a lot of dogs lately. It's really unusual for them to be barking like they have been. Alright, so instead of removing the bandages, let's try to reach the bucket.
包帯なんて後でいいだろう。それよりもたもたしてたらバケツが。
そうだね。私、棚の上の石膏像を押さえてるから。
よし、俺がバケツ外すから、そっちは頼む。
気をつけてね。
くそ、そこには手届くんだが、取っ手に触れね
無理に取ろうとしちゃダメだよ。
え。分かってる。考えたくねえけど、もし中身が硫酸とかだったらこぼしただけでアウトだからな。
机か椅子を動かして重ねたら。
そうだな、それしかねえか。どうなってんだ。どれもこれも床に張り付いちまったみたいに動かねえ。
This brought to mind all the doors and windows that were so firmly frozen in place they might as well have been cement walls. I didn't need convincing. I knew what Kishinuma said was true. Those desks and chairs weren't going anywhere. I had no other choice but to step in.
死ぬなくん、机の上で私を肩車して。
けどよ、お前スカートで。
そんなこと言ってる場合じゃないでしょ。石膏像が落ちる前に早く。
おう。おっと、なんだよこの机は。いや、床が傷んでんのか。とにかく慎重にな、鈴本。
I swallowed nervously, then reached my hands over my head, careful not to make any sudden movements. I could reach the bucket's handle just fine, fortunately. Now all that remained was untying it and getting it down without spilling whatever happened to lie within.
おい。
何これ、重い。
Whatever it was, it definitely wasn't liquid. This was a solid, tangible weight. It felt almost as if the whole thing was filled to the brim with lead. I tried my hardest to maintain balance while adjusting to this unexpected new mass in my hands, but... It was no use. The bucket was slipping loose from my grip, and there was nothing I could do to stop it. Inevitably, my hands gave out, and the bucket was airborne. Someone had coated it in soapy water or oil, making it virtually impossible to hold on to. Whoever set this trap had apparently anticipated this very scenario and planned for it accordingly. We were meant to find this girl. We were meant to try rescuing her, and we were meant to fail miserably. This was all one big joke to someone. The bucket flipped over in midair, raining its contents down onto the unknowing, unsuspecting victim below. Directly onto her face. Her cries only lasted for 1 or 2 seconds. They were followed by a few convulsions in her legs, and then stillness. Thousands of assorted nails, razors, scissors, and tacks all struck the poor girl's face, piercing her soft cheeks and eyes and filling her mouth. It took almost no time at all for what was left of her pale, perfect skin to be dyed crimson.
そんな。なんでだよ。バカ野郎！お前の俺たちのせいじゃ。
やだこんなつもりじゃ。ごめんね。許して。
I don't know if that would actually result in an instant death like it did here. It would be long and agonizing. I don't know if you could actually... Well, it depends on how big... I don't know. It's hard to say, because I get the feeling that wouldn't result in an instant death, really? Or a death, but I could be wrong. It would just be excruciatingly painful. That's all I can think of. Because even getting your throat slashed, it takes a while for you to die. Okay, and probably guess by the little picture there what we have to do for this one. Alright, so we send Yoshiki after all.
これだけ強く結んでおけばほどけないよ。
サンキュー。じゃ、ちょっと降りてくるわ。ロープつか包帯頼んだぜ。
了解。気をつけてね。何かあったら包帯を引いて合図してください。私たちですぐ引き上げますから。
お前らの力じゃ無理だって。そん時は必死で登るから、ロープだけは離さないでくれよ。よし。鈴本、地面についたぜ。
大丈夫？どう？何かありそう？
暗くてよくわかんねえけど、今から調べてみる。
Not that this is a pleasant prospect. Though it's too dark to see the area clearly, this entire space has an oppressive feel to it. There are a large number of dead bodies scattered about throughout the room. Most seem to have died long ago, having decayed into proper skeletons, but a small handful seem fresh, as if they were alive only yesterday.
こりゃ、一体何十年前から。
It's a girl's body. This is one of the ones that seems like a more recent death. So recent, in fact, that there's still a hint of body heat coming off of her. All of her fingers have been cut off, and her tongue seems to have been removed. Her student ID name tag is clearly displayed on her jacket. Musashigawa Girls Middle School, Hikari Kiriue.
小笠原と同じ学校の制服か。そういや、更衣室で助けた時、光ってこの名前呼んでたっけな。ちくしょう。 なんていやいいんだよ。
There's something lying on the ground next to her body. It seems to be the glinting object that called attention to this room in the first place. Acquired bottle.
なんだこりゃ。香水かなんかか。あったぜ。なんか水みてえのが入った瓶だった。
登ってこられる？
ああ、上から見るより高くねえみてえだしな。おっとっと、意外と揺れて登りにくいな。おお、
After a split second of what seemed almost like weightlessness came a hard slam on the ground. And following momentarily afterward was the other end of the rope. Did the girls let go? Fortunately, it happened while still fairly low to the ground, resulting in bruises, albeit painful ones, rather than broken bones.
おい、鈴本、どうした？おい、小笠原。
No response. Okasawara's body was simply going into repeated convulsions, and half her face had been smashed in like a watermelon. Her skull was clearly split wide open.
なんだよ、小笠原が。どうなってんだよ、おい、鈴本。鈴本。おい、鈴本、どうした？なんなんだよ。鈴本！やめろ！誰だ、くそ！ふざけんじゃねえぞ、てめえ！バカ野郎！鈴本、諦めんじゃねえ！絶対に俺が森重に合わせて！うわ！なんだこりゃ、血。
Blood spilled from above as if someone were dumping a whole bucket full of it down the hole. And mixed in with this blood were various meat-like chunks of varying shapes and sizes. Chunks that were clearly pieces of a person's body.
鈴本！
Alright, so that was the fourth wrong end. And to get the last two, we need to I'll pull up the save. As this is the one save I have before I got the notebook. And we need to not pick up the notebook. So we're just going to 1A. Okay, we just want to get the key. A rusty key sits on the teacher's podium atop a note that just says, "Do not use this key under any circumstances." I know the note says not to use it, but this key could be important. I should take it with me just in case. Alright, you don't want to go into 1C. And this pretty much plays out the exact same as if I got the notebook up until we rescue Nana. So I will just edit that out and I'll see you then. Alright, so I just rescued Nana. So now we can continue to the other two wrong endings. But first let me show you some extra things. One of which is the little note you find in here. What we originally found was just a crumpled up ball filled with fingers in this cubbyhole, but that's not there. In this one we just find a note. There are several sheets of paper here, all folded up very neatly and deliberately. They read as follows. To Dad, to Mom, to my teachers, and to everyone else at school. And to me, Tomo, and Kana, my very best friends. It's been about 1 week since I got sealed up here. I'm surrounded by the dead, and while I did come across a small number of people who were still alive, most of them have already died off. This is a bizarre place. I had what was left of my lunch with me, so I ate that, but there's no other food to be found. Needless to say, I'm extremely hungry. I have almost no strength left, and my mind is starting to get hazy. I thought about suicide, but I was told that when you die here, you feel the pain you felt at death for the rest of eternity, told by a ghost. So, I wanted the easiest, most pain-free death possible and have decided how I want to die. I considered eating some of the dead bodies in here, but decided against it, even though I am very hungry. I'm so hungry that my brain is shutting down and the pain has started to dull. I think I am very near death, so I have decided to write my last will and testament here before I can no longer form thoughts. Goodbye. Please forgive me for dying before you, Mom and Dad. Saganuma Municipal Middle School Number 2, Class 3-2, Sawako Nara. That's it for that. And then you want to go into 1C. After you get Nana, as the same, Ayaka's corpse that was over here is not there anymore. But instead of a half of a torso, we got this. There's a large blood stain on the floor here. It's still wet, so whatever happened here must have happened within the last few hours at most. Lying nearby is a single shoe, a girl's loafer in the style typically worn as part of a school uniform.
靴マリちゃんのに
考えすぎだろ。こんな靴どこの家にも一足くらいあるぜ。
でもナリちゃん学校指定の靴じゃなくてこういうフリンジがついたタイプを履いててサイズもナナちゃんそういうことは考えないでおこう。こんな靴だけじゃ何の確証にもならないんだからね。
So that's all that's different there. Let's go here. The loose board is no longer spanning the hole in the floor here. It's unclear what happened to it. Maybe it fell in, or maybe someone took it. Either way, it's no longer possible to continue down the hall from here.
この距離ならジャンプして向こうに行けるんじゃねえか。
男子ならともかく私たちには無理だよ。何か捕まるものでもなきゃ。
長い防火ロープでもあれば先に俺が渡って支えてやるんだけどな。
Okay, and as you notice, the three ghosts. To get them to go away. It won't open. It's locked.
もしかするとさっきの鍵で開くかも。
Let's give it a try.
この鍵じゃないみたい。
錆びついてっから入らねえんじゃねえの。貸してみろよ。
いいけどどうするの？
こうやって床の硬いとこでこすってみりゃどうかなって。見ろよ、剥がれてきた。地面とかに長いこと放置されてると錆びついて形が変わっちまうんだ。
でも大きさ的にやっぱりここの鍵じゃないっぽいね。あれ？何か書いてあります。ほら、文字の跡みたいのが。本当だ、文字が彫ってある。
Kishinuma breaking the rest off of the key uncovered a label on its grip. Science lab, staff only. Guess that settles that. Seems like a handy key to have. So, without picking up the notebook, that key becomes a key for the science lab instead of the little music box that Yoshiki still has on him. I guess the student ID, having the notebook triggers picking up the student ID, and in the student ID, it mentions putting a key in the box, or putting something in a box. And that's what gives them the idea to do it, because without finding the notebook and the student ID, we don't come across the holy water in the bottom of the hole, in which she drops her student ID, but she still maintains that other one, in which they take a look at that, other student's student ID. And if you're wondering about name tags, it's kind of like, at least with my middle school, and even with my elementary school, so I'm assuming this is pretty much for most schools, is that they are required to wear their name tags on their uniforms. And their gym uniforms have their last name, like, embroidered on it. It's the gauze bandages that were used to tie up Nana.
これロープの代わりにならないかな。
Okay, so we used the bandages for something else this time. I gathered up the loose bandages and handed them to Kishinuma. Kishinuma then obediently pulled, then taught in a few places to test their tensile strength.
長さはかなりあるし、何重かに折り返せば簡単には切れそうにねえな。
2本あるし、より合わせてロープみたいにすればもっと丈夫になるよ。
And so we folded both strips of gauze in half, then twisted the two double-ply strips together to form something that resembled a braid. I'd done something similar to this once before when making rope-like decorations for theater costumes, so it didn't prove to be particularly difficult. It almost felt like rope making 101. In 10 minutes' time, presto, we had a do-it-yourself rope in our hands. Granted, it was pretty flimsy compared to the resin ropes you might buy at a home center, but it seemed like it would hold one person's weight just fine. Alright. So we head back upstairs. We use that rope to get across that hole.
.まずはロープをどっかに結びつけて固定しねえとな。
そこの教室の机とかどう？
大丈夫かよ。机なんかロープ引っ張ったら動いちまうぞ。
そっか。教卓。ちょっとロープの長さが足りないかもしれないし。ロープを結びつけた机を入り口近くに移動させて。
Nana is so much smarter than the high schoolers.
それでロープが出る隙間だけ残してドアを閉めれば机はドアに引っかかって動かないと思います。なるほど。ドアを片側に寄せて二重にしとけばまず外れることなんてないしいけるかも。
よし、じゃあまず俺がロープ持って向こう側にジャンプするからな。
気をつけてね。
この距離なら楽勝楽勝。よっおっとビビった。
大丈夫？菱沼くん。
ああ、その辺微妙に床板が脆いみてえだから気をつけろよ。よし、鈴本、ロープを伝って順番にこっち来いよ。危ないから一人ずつな。
ナナちゃん、私が先に渡るから後から来れる？はい、できると思います。
どうした？
学生証落としちゃった。篠崎さんにもらった幸子さん人形の切れ端挟んであったのに。
そんなもん後で下の階に拾いに行きゃいいだろう。それより危ねえからよそ見してねえで早く渡れよ。
ナナちゃん、いいよ、来て。ロープしっかり掴んで気をつけてね。わかりました。
なんだあいつ、なんかやべえぞ。
ナナちゃん、急いでこっちに。
For about as much time as it took a single shiver to run up and down a person's spine, the hallway was completely silent. Then, the moment Nana's foot left the floor on the other end of the hole, there was an abrupt, almost exaggerated spray of blood. The back of the strange, bloody-eyed man's massive hammer had come down hard, roughly splitting through not only the rope, but both of Nana's legs as well. More than anything, I wanted to look away. I wanted to look away from those desperate, tear-filled eyes, that shocked, pained expression. Not to mention the sight of Nana's dangling torso, with nothing at all left below the thighs.
ロープ離すんじゃねえぞ。すぐに引き上げてやっから。鈴本、さっさと手貸せ。
足がナナちゃんの。
バカ野郎、まだ生きてんだろうが。
助けても助けてあげても。
余計なこと考えんな。ちくしょう、なんだよ足くれ。俺が背負ってやら。どけ。このロープで太もも縛って。くそ、ひでえ。ここ離れるぞ、鈴本。くそ変質野郎。その図体で飛べるもんなら飛んでみやがれ。
Don't give him ideas.
息はしてる。でも気絶してるみたいだな。
その方がいいよ。意識があったらどんなに痛いか。
けど意識がねえってことは体力的にやべえってことだろ。なんとかしなきゃな。
なんとかって私たちお医者さんじゃないんだよ。こんなひどい怪我どうしたらいいのか。
消毒液と包帯くらいあんだろ。保健室か理科室か職員室かどっかによ。とにかく俺らでできることしてやんなきゃ。
そうだね。
とりあえずちゃんと休めるとこに移動しようぜ。
Oh, he took the secret path from the custodian closet.
あいつさっきのどうやってこっちに来たんだよ。
とにかく逃げなきゃ。
Alright. So we save? Because he can get 2 endings now. Alright, and we're gonna get a particular one here. Something struck the glass window from inside the room. It was a dull red palm print, and it began slowly sliding down the window, leaving an oozing trail of blood in its wake.
今は張り込み中だから嘘を当たってもらえる。 自分の身は自分で守らなきゃ。さっきのお友達がそう言ってたでしょ。
Okay, we're just gonna let the clock run out. The bloody-eyed man raised his right leg, then quickly brought it down onto Nana's stomach, pinning her to the ground and forcing blood from her wounds. A few stomps later, what looked to be gastric juices began spewing from Nana's mouth, and her momentary consciousness was cut short as she passed out again. This didn't stop the man from continuing his stomping fit. He was putting his whole body weight into every blow. I could hear the sound of bones breaking. Nana's chances of survival were lessening with every passing moment, and they weren't good to begin with. What could I do? I wanted to save her somehow, but I couldn't even move.
てめえ、その足をどけやがれ、クソが！
Kishinuma's attempt to save Nana was short-lived. The bloody-eyed man swatted him back like a fly, and he immediately fell through a hole in the floor.
お待たせ。今度はあなたの番よ。お姉ちゃん、遊ぼう。思い出した。私。ここで死ぬんだ。
Alright, and that was the 5th wrong ending. Just one more. Alright, so that's what happens when you let the clock run out. The other wrong ending is when we use the key. The science lab door is locked. But not for long. The door's locked.
理科室なら確か鍵が。外れた。
よし、早く中に。
鍵閉めたから。
とりあえずは安全か。でもあのデカブツ、斧みてえの持ってやがったからな。ドアが破られる前にこっちもなんか武器でも探さねえと。
その前にナナちゃんの手当てを。何この匂い。
Could it be this? It's a dead body bound to a chair with wire by both its wrists and ankles. Based on height and uniform, this was most likely a junior high school girl. She seems to have had hot oil poured over her head, burning everything above her chest into a blackened, unidentifiable mess. The only discernible facial feature is a missing tongue, and that only because its stump is still faintly visible through her broken front. The wire around her wrists and ankles seems to have really dug into the skin, too, suggesting she put up a hell of a fight before taking her final breath.
この制服、ナナちゃんと同じ。
学生証に写真があるな。武蔵川女子中学校1年6組天戸谷なり。
ナリちゃん。
あ、意識戻ってたのか。
ナナちゃん、見ちゃダメ。これナリちゃん。嘘だよ。こんなの。ナリちゃん、絶対みんなで脱出するって約束したのに。こんなのって違う。絶対ナリちゃんなんかじゃ。しっかりしてナナちゃん。まだ他にも会いたい人が、友達や先輩がいるんでしょ。もういないかもしれないよ。これなんだ？
It was a little girl with matted, oily black hair spilling down her shoulders and over her chest. She was holding something under her arm. She drew out the vowel in her sadistically playful question. She triumphantly flourished this object, revealing it to be a human head. It was a girl's head, with a perfectly uniform bob framing her face. She looked like the quiet type. Her mouth was hanging half open, trails of blood stained onto her chin, and once again, the tongue was nowhere to be found.
はやちゃん。これちはやちゃんって言うんだ。ちはやちゃんは何度も呼んでたよ。なーなちゃん、私死んじゃった。どうして助けに来てくれなかったの？
The girl in the red dress thrust her hand up into Chihaya's neck and was moving her mouth up and down while saying this, like a ventriloquist with a dummy. With those words, Nana lapsed back into unconsciousness on Kishinuma's back, never again to awaken. As for me and Kishinuma, we knew the chase was over. There was nothing left to say. We just stood there, petrified at the thought of what was yet to come. Alright, and so those were the wrong endings for Chapter 2. Let's take a look at some of the extras that were unlocked when the true ending was. So Chihaya was probably being killed in the nurse's office, and if you pass by it during the chase sequence, you can hear it. These are pretty short. After you beat Chapter 2, you unlock 2 testimonies. Mayu's voice actress and Yoshiki's.
コープスパーティーブックオブシャドウズをプレイしてくださった皆さん、どうもありがとうございます。 鈴本真由役の南里優香です。皆さんプレイしてみていかがでしたか？まゆとしても南里優香としても久しぶりに本当に背中がゾクゾクする感じを私も味わいました。皆さんもぜひ何度もプレイして楽しんでくださいね。
Hers is really short. His is slightly longer.
皆さんお疲れ様でした。吉木役の中村祐一です。いやー、クリアをしたそうで、どうでしたか？一本道で行けましたか？それともいろんな人がいろんなことになっちゃうパターンを見たんでしょうか？もし見てなくてですね、割とすんなりいけちゃったなっていう人はですね、やっぱり全部見てほしいよねっていうところがありますから、僕だけじゃありません。全てのいや違うな、何人かはねそんなに激しくやってないんですけどね、僕らなんかはね割と激しめのシーン、ちょっとショッキングなねシーンをたくさんやってるんでね、そういったところもぜひ含んで楽しんでいただければいいかななんて思っておりますんで、何度も遊んでみてもらえるかな。はい、どうもありがとうございます。それではまた。
Alright, and that's it for chapter 2. I'll be back with chapter 3 called Encounter. And that one revolves around Miss Yui, the teacher, who we got to see very, very little of in the main game. Alright, well, I'll see you guys in the next video. Do please like, subscribe, and fave for more Corpse Party Book of Shadows and other videos.